Welcome to Rebecca Sounds Reveille. Have I got a sweet surprise for you today? I am beyond delighted to share with you an American actor, writer, director, and producer. He is the co-owner of Butler Media Productions LLC, and he has worked on many different forms of media entertainment over many years. He is definitely somebody that you have got to connect with because something is coming down the pipeline. I can't wait. I'm busting at the seams to share it myself, and I can't do that. But my guest today, your guest today, portrays Ted in the upcoming Christmas comedy Secret Santa, A Christmas Adventure. Okay, there it is. It's out of the bag. That's one of the things that we're going to talk about today. And he's also returning to his role, Nick Sutton, on the television sitcom Problems Higher Up. When is that coming out? Well, I'm going to let him tell you. I could give all the details away, but I want to welcome him to the show right now so you can hear it all. Nigel Butler, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. This is awesome.
I think it is too. I can't wait because you're bringing things in at such a time when people need cheerfulness, fresh things to watch. Everybody's got to be completely out of all of these binge watching episodes and things that have been kind of dark and, tense. And we need something that cheers us up and gives us hope and motivation. And that's what I deliver to the audience every episode. And you're going to top it off this one.
I'll do my best. I definitely agree with everything you just said. I love comedy so much because that's what it does. It makes people happy and hopefully it makes them laugh. If you're not making them laugh, you're doing a pretty poor job at it. But that's what I love about the sitcom I get to do. And this movie right here, it's exactly what you say. You get to hopefully bring people some joy in their lives.
I love it. And it's really interesting because for some people, Christmas starts much earlier in the year, like July, Christmas in July. And so you're going to have a film that is going to end up becoming a staple and it will carry on at different points in the year, not just at Christmas time.
Well, I hope so. I'd be happy with just Christmas, but I'm glad to hear you say that because I'll go all year round if that's what they want to do. I'm really excited about this. I'm hoping that lots of people will watch it in July as well. Christmas in July, but that's usually when the TV networks take over. But as far as film goes, I think we got a great movie. I think it's. I should say I hope, but I think it's going to be a Christmas classic. Dare I say it? It's just it's a long time coming, and I really think it's got some good elements inside it.
Okay, so that's exactly what I was thinking because I can think of Christmas shows from my childhood that just they stay there. They're a classic, they don't go away. And
Right.
there's some over the years that have sort of there'll be one or two like in the 90s or early 2000s or something. There'll be one that really clutches on and it just stays like that and it becomes a classic. I
Yeah.
think this is going to do that. Everything that I've seen so far just drew my attention to what you got going on and it's absolutely it's just enthralling.
Well, yeah, thanks again. I think it's a lot of fun. Honestly, what I really like about the movie is the fact that it really, to me anyway, it grabs elements of Christmas that are already there, such as, everybody thinks about Santa Claus. Everybody thinks about how does Santa Claus deliver gifts to all these people, and you put it in a movie and you make normal people do it. And I think it's a very compelling story because the people I talked to, especially when I was younger, much younger, but we talk about the fact that how does Santa do it, right? It's impossible to deliver gifts to all these people. And so when you make a mortal person, a normal human being, deliver gifts to just 5 houses in one night, you got yourself nothing but trouble right there. Exactly. Yeah, you're breaking in and out of houses. It's crazy. So I think it is a little intense, which is the only thing I could see holding it back from maybe some younger audiences. But I think that it's definitely up there with Christmas Vacation, one of those kinds of movies. And I think it has a lot of very classical tropes to it that'll stick around and help it to land on its own feet.
I think so too. And when you were talking about it being classic and that TV networks pick things up in July, I'm thinking about all the different streaming capabilities that there is now for it to be watched all the time and not just either in July with TV networks or I'm just thinking so big on this. Like I said, this has really captured my attention, and I'm absolutely excited about this. And so let me ask you, since this has been a long time coming, how did this sort of evolve for you?
Well, from the very beginning, this I probably wrote this movie 2 to 3 years ago. Believe it or not, the first draft of it. I really, really love Christmas movies. Always have, and I always wanted to do one. And I love comedies. You know that you could probably tell because the sitcom and this and all the other stuff I've worked on. But it's really I love comedies and I love Christmas movies, and I knew I wanted to do a Christmas comedy at some point. And I think that this was just the time. We just had Butler Media Productions. We just come off the sitcom Problems Higher Up, and we knew that some of those people, the fans who like that show, would jump over. And we also knew that a Christmas movie. They're really underappreciated, I think, by studios. Studios don't make Christmas movies, and you look, there are only like two a year, if you're lucky. You know what I mean? Other than like television networks like Hallmark that make films. And look, if that's your type of Christmas movie, go for it. That's awesome. But to me, anyway, I like Christmas movies like Elf, or I'll say it again, Christmas Vacation or Home Alone. Things like that are a little bit kind of off the beaten path. They're a little different, but they really carry a lot of heart with their kind of outlandish stories, and hopefully bring Christmas cheer to people every year.
Well, there's something that is said, and that is there's truth in humor. So when
For sure.
people find something that they can identify with, they're going to laugh, and you are really going to deliver it. And it's pretty amazing. From what I have been able to understand so far, I am so excited about this. And so I've just been waiting to talk about this and see how long it took you to get this going and get it from thought to production, and now where it's going. I mean, this is just incredibly awesome.
Yeah, I mean it was a long road to get here, but it's I'm so thankful that it finally happened. Basically, how it all went down was I'd written the movie, uh, got a lot of people to read it. A lot of people really liked it, but at the end of the day, I just didn't have the really, it was probably the confidence, but it was also the equipment and stuff to try to take it on and make this thing happen. And then after we did Problems Higher Up, and lots of people tend to like that, and we had the production company, like I say before, we knew this was the next step. I never actually thought about all the little elements in the movie that would need to, kind of come through in the film. For instance, you have Santa Claus in the movie. That alone is like you're trying to live up to this idea of Santa, or you just kind of go with the stereotype, or you do something completely different. Well, the script is something completely different. So how do you bring that across? You know what I mean? How do you do that differently and capture it in camera? What kind of an actor are you going to use to portray that? It was nobody from Problems Higher Up. Not that those people, aren't great actors. They are. They're phenomenal, and I'm very thankful to them. But they aren't Santa Claus, So finding Eric Rogers actually plays Santa Claus on the show, and he does in the film, and he does a phenomenal job.
I love
And
it.
I'm super excited for people to see his performance. He did some plays and musicals that I've been in, and he's just a really good actor, and I'm excited to have him in the movie. And I can't wait for people to see his Santa Claus. But elements like that, the cast was completely different from what we've done before. The setting, I mean, 5 houses, and they're not all houses. There's an apartment building, there's a nursing home, there's some other elements thrown in there where they're trying to deliver these gifts, but finding those locations to film at was also a bit of a challenge. And it's at times like that where you really realize the awesome support group that you have behind you. Not only your friends, your family, your cast, but also, my church. They were really great. They let us borrow some of their equipment and film inside the building for the show Problems Higher Up. And once again, they were just more than gracious, giving us places to film and equipment to use, and
Wow.
super helpful.
You really were able to utilize all of your resources, and oftentimes we overlook some of the most obvious. So this is really neat. Let me ask you too, how did you get involved in entertainment?
Well, as far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be an actor, and that's something I loved. But I wasn't really always looking to do stage stuff, the stuff that you're able to do when you're younger. You know what I mean? Because of school plays and
Right.
shows and all that. And I really liked film. I wanted to do film. So it was then that my brother and I started making our own movies, with a camcorder or a small camera and the, Windows Movie Maker, things like that. This is when we were really young. And we realized that we actually really enjoy this and this is a lot of fun. And my brother likes, it just so happens that he likes editing, directing, a lot of the behind the scenes stuff and camera work. And I love acting and writing, and he likes writing too. Some of it crosses over, but it really just worked out. Exactly. It was a perfect match. And we were able to make some short films that were pretty bad, but we learned a lot from them and we had a lot of fun. And the more movies we made, the more we wanted to make. And, the bigger we wanted this passion to grow. And God has been very good to us in the fact that we are growing with each step. I mean, I just got a confirmation the other day that we are going to get this on DVD, and it should be out here in November on DVD. So that's pretty awesome. And we're definitely going to streaming still, but it's still just a step up and a little bit of an accomplishment for us. And it's just great to see that happen. And I think you mentioned something about your getting resources and utilizing your resources. And I think that's a necessity if you ever want to kind of expand, what I mean, in where you are, is you got to use the resources you have to reach other resources. And I don't mean like use those resources in a negative light, but when your relationships are assets instead of liabilities, it really helps out. You know what I mean? And
Well,
it's
that's such a good point, because oftentimes we feel apprehensive about asking somebody if we're able to utilize a service or a product that they have, but yet we have things that they can use as well. And it may not be right at that specific moment, but really networking and building good, strong, solid relationships really allows for a lot of opportunity. And you, with this particular film, have really been able, like I said, not only to utilize the resources that you had available, but during a time period in which things were shut down.
yeah.
And
Wow.
so this is phenomenal. The other thing that you mentioned is that with just continuing to get out there and hone your skills, you had to practice it, you had to film things, you didn't necessarily think that they were the way you wanted them, so you went out and did something else, and then you continue to grow. Now you've hit something that's huge. And so that's another thing I want to share with the audience too, that they is another takeaway of Nigel nuggets that you're giving, because they're going to be equipped with different things to ponder on. And this one is that practice makes perfect. Things might be hard or difficult, or because the final result isn't exactly how you want it, doesn't mean it's time to give up. It means it's time to take what you were able to master from that and move forward, and what you didn't like, you can incorporate something new or different and grow from it. And I love that you're sharing this. So you've been doing this for a long time. You have your own media company,
Yeah.
and I think the audience is going to want to hear more about what you've got going.
Well, just to kind of respond to what you said before I get to that question, what we got going on now is basically, as far as the failures go, you can't let it get you down. We kind of got a funny story about that show, Problems Higher Up, that we did. That was our first big production. It was a TV show, and we set out to film it in 2019. And after about 4 or 5 filming days, it was so incredibly terrible and such an awful turnout that we actually canceled the show and just kind of stopped working on it for a full year until 2020 rolled around again. And then we went after it again. We got it done. And, it's been, well, I don't want to say it's fantastic, but it's fantastic to me because I saw where we were and where we got to be. And it's a huge accomplishment as far as I'm concerned. And I'm really just so grateful to everybody for returning after the first failure, you know what I mean, to try and do it again.
I
And yet
love
they
it.
returned for another season too here in January.
So, I bet, based on you sharing that, everybody that returned, actors, everybody that was involved, from, I mean, behind the scenes to on camera, I bet sort of being able to do it over again allowed them to master some things too, to make it even better than what it could have been back then.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And I think it was my buddy Matt who's on the show as Zach. He was the one who said that when I asked him if he wanted to do it again, he said, "Well, definitely, because now we know what we're doing and we'll be able to jump right in." And I think he was absolutely right. We that's not an exact quote, but
Yeah, of
that's
course.
kind of his reaction. But we jumped right in. He knew his character, I knew my character, and we've had some time to polish the stories as well. And I think we really we got a good product there. And I think season two is infinitely better too, because you learn as you go along, and which is why I think that with each production, I like to see it get better. I really do. If we ever have one that's slightly worse than the last, I really hate that. Luckily, as far as our big productions go, like our TV shows and the movie now, I haven't seen that yet. You know what I mean? Secret
Right.
Santa is infinitely better than Problems Higher Up season one, and season two of Problems Higher Up is better than season one of Problems Higher Up. So I'm hoping next year will be even better than anything we're working on now, and because you can always get better.
Yes, always, always, always shoot for knowing that there's even just a little bit more, and there's a little bit more to
Right.
push to really be better. So, one of the things that I shared at the beginning, which I was going to leave for you, and we haven't let the audience know yet, is when specifically Problems Higher Up is coming out.
Season two will be releasing in January 2022. I
Boom.
don't have an exact date for you yet. What I can say is it's probably going to be middle to late January, because Secret Santa will still be hopefully performing well.
Okay.
November 11th is when Secret Santa comes out, so it gives you plenty of time to watch it before the holidays if you're one of those people. And if you want to keep that Christmas spirit alive, after Christmas, go for it. Secret Santa will be there. It's
I
going
think,
to streaming the 11th, I should say.
when are the DVDs coming out? Because this would be a great stocking stuffer.
So as soon as the pre-order is already up, but I don't know the exact date that they'll be shipped out. I do know it's supposed to be sometime around the 11th. The question is, will we wait a week before we ship them out, or will we try to push streaming first? And that's a question a little bit above my head right now.
So, just with my 2 cents,
Yeah,
because I'd like to get my hands on a copy, with all the shipping delays that are going on across the world,
right.
especially here in the United States, I would say really push hard to get it out, because
Hmm.
that would be so much more beneficial if it does make it to the stockings
Oh, for sure.
versus there being a shipping delay.
Well, I
So,
can tell you, I can guarantee you that when it does come out, which it should be somewhere within that week, I've been informed that it'll be 2 to 3 business days if shipping from uh, Amazon, obviously, or Zing, or wherever you get it. Walmart, I don't know what theirs exactly is, but it will go by the company that you get it from. And
okay.
depending on which distributor you buy it from, you should be able to get it within a number of days. And that shouldn't be a problem at all. And
Oh,
also, if you've placed a pre order, they'll be shipped out immediately. And, you should get them pretty soon.
I love it. I'm just thinking, no delays, no
No,
delays.
exactly. I hear
Such
that.
a good thing. And I mean, it's just such a good thing. I'm so excited. Everything that I've seen that you have been doing is just incredible. And you can see the tenacity and dedication that you have. And it's so well rounded. I just keep thinking, you've been doing that. I mean, this has had to have been in your blood, and you were doing things as a child growing up, and it just it's just apparent the passion that you have. And
Mhm.
I'm jazzed. I'm
Yeah,
jazzed.
I'm super excited. I'm super
Now,
excited.
let me ask you this too. Do you have other things coming up that you can't share with us just yet, that we need to really stay on the, like, your social media, all the channels, so we can kind of sort of get some clues to what you might have going on?
Definitely. We have a lot going on, and the only stuff I can really tell you about is stuff that's kind of really soon. Everything else is a little bit, a month or so out, which I don't want to comment on, but I can tell you on our YouTube channel, as far as that goes, we definitely got some more music videos coming by different artists, not just the artists we've worked with before, as well as some of them. And hopefully we've got some short films coming out soon, and we're working on another movie right now as we speak. And I'm not going to release any details about it because things could still fall through. But I'm super excited for whichever project comes next. If it ends up being the movie or a music video, I know that it'll be good because the heart is there behind it.
Oh, absolutely. It's so obvious. And I think that you are such an inspiration in so many ways. I've just been so excited to have you on the show, because I can't tell you and express enough what the things that you do that leads by example that are going to be able to trickle over to the audience. And it's just, like I said, I have just been waiting. I'm so excited about this, and watching it just sitting on the cusp going, okay, everything I have found is incredible. And so if we were going to direct the audience then to any of your social media platforms, where would be the number one place? I'm going to get them all from you, but that you want them to connect with you on, because I want them connecting everywhere. I want them to see what you've
Right.
done, see where you're going, connect with you on social media. So, and we can't use the SHARE word anymore because otherwise, the algorithms stop from sending it out. So we want
Gotcha.
so we want that to people to click that button so that other people they know can see all of the things that you're doing too. So if you could share the number one place first where they can see all your content.
Well, definitely, if you're looking for my content, probably my Instagram, which its username is it's Nigel Butler, ITS, and then my name, Nigel Butler. Definitely, I post about everything I'm doing there. As far as Butler Media Productions goes, though, if you're just looking for strictly stuff that the business is doing and not necessarily what Nigel, the actor, is doing, because sometimes they're a little different, then you'll go to our YouTube. Exactly. You'll go to our YouTube channel for that though, because we always post about whatever we're working on there, and usually it's the final product unless it's a big film or TV show. So that's definitely the place to look for upcoming information and stuff about Butler Media Productions. So that's exactly where I would go.
Excellent. Excellent. And so we're going to be on the lookout for everything that you've got going on. I am really appreciative of all of the time that you have. I know you're busy. I know you're on the go. You're doing things and making things happen. I want to see, I mean, I know you're rock and rolling, and I want to see everything that you've got going like quicker than my patience on getting the opportunity to see this. Like just like waiting every day. But I appreciate your time, and the value that you are contributing to everybody at a time when it is so needed. And I thank you for being here today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. This is a lot of fun. I really always appreciate these opportunities. Thank you for what you're doing, getting other people's story and message out there, and just helping me out in respect. So I do appreciate that, and thank you so much.
And I want to encourage every one of you watching to make sure that you click on the links in any of the description boxes that you see where you find this streaming, and it should be also available to you on audio form as well. You know that I can't say those words anymore, so get the deets out there to all the people that you know. I want to thank you so much for tuning in, and I can't wait to see y'all next week.